teens and in our 20s, we kind of thought, this is what our lives were going to look like and just become better and better, but like not evolve much. But what a long-winded way of saying is that we get rid of people constantly, and it's a very kind of violent way of putting it. But she was telling me, people didn't show up, but like they didn't have excuses and they didn't say they were sorry and things like that. And whereas you did apologize and other people didn't apologize, and she was disappointed in people all the time and disappointed in things. And it's just, we realized that in our 30s, in today's day and age anyway, we're still kind of renewing our friend group, and some people walk in and out of our lives and things. And I think that we need to just accept that, and just, you want to aim to build long-lasting relationships, and that's the goal. You don't want to be making friends just for the sake of it. You want to be, foundation blocks and strong relationships. But sadly, that's not the case. And I think a key to being happy is accepting that, when it changes, then it changes, and that's just the way it is. People evolve at different paces, in different directions. And just this year, I have a friend that I had known literally my whole life. Like, she was born 3 months after me, and we just got into this argument, and I was like, you are overreacting way too much. And and we just had this argument, and it kind of just led to the end of the friendship in a really awkward way. And it took me a while to just think, I mean, we grew apart, and we tried to force a friendship because of 30 years of knowing each other, when actually it was just, the friendship was just not good for us anymore. And it's a very strange feeling.
Yeah, it is. I think arguably losing a friend, especially a best friend, is more painful than losing a significant other or relationship, a romantic relationship. I also actually, I don't know if I lost this friendship or not, but she was my best friend since middle school, and I never thought this would be a person who won't be in my life.
Mm.
And I haven't seen her in over a year. She doesn't know my boyfriend, which is like the strangest thing to me. And she just one day disappeared, and then she suddenly came back, and then we were trying to plan to meet up, and she just canceled last minute, and then she canceled last minute again. And I know she was going through a weird time in her life, and I tried to reach out. I tried to do something, but it just wasn't. You have no one to talk to over there because they're not cooperating with you. And at the end of the day, sometimes you just have to learn how to let go. As painful as it is, as much as you don't want
Yeah.
to lose that friendship, I mean, you have to find the balance between trying to save a relationship that matters to you, but also not trying to drive yourself crazy over it and to lose sight of yourself and to lower you for the sake of that friendship when that other person doesn't seem to care, doesn't seem to want to be part of your life anymore. And again, as humans, we evolve and we grow and we change all the time. People who knew me even just a year or two ago wouldn't recognize me today,
Yeah.
because if they haven't been in touch with me this whole time, because I'm always growing, I'm always changing, I'm always working on myself. And if a person stays the same throughout their whole life, then that means they're not doing enough work on themselves. And so it's just a natural part of life to lose people, to gain people. People will come and go, and that's just part of what life is. And there's not much you can do about it other than learn to let go and move on. As painful as it is, it's just what it is. And I'm not sure exactly what it has to do
Yeah.
with the holidays, but there we are.
Yeah, we diverted. But I think that to circle it back to the holidays is, I think it has a lot to do with the holidays, because if you're single during the holidays, I mean, single and in your 30s, if you're 20 and single, then I think that's, less awkward.
Yeah.
But I think if you're single in your 30s during the holidays, whichever holiday it is, it's a good time to just reflect on, especially Christmas, because it's the end of the calendar year for the Western world, you know, a big part of the world. I think it's just a good way of looking at your life and just being like, right, so I'm single, so I'm not overwhelmed with a bunch of stuff. I'm not, you know, feeling like I'm need to perform, because that's what you said. You were single and you're just going to have fun, eat, play with the kids, and that's that. I think it's a good time to also, if you're feeling bad about it, because if you're feeling good, then, you know, what, you know, there's no problem. But if you're feeling bad about it, it's a good way of just reflecting and being like, what happened? What did you gain? What did you lose? What are you happy about? What are you unhappy about? Obviously, you do this as well if you're in a relationship. I think being single allows for more time, because you've only got you and your family to think about, not you, them, your family, their family, and all of that. So yeah, I think single during the holidays is you know, the best time to just focus on yourself and just, you know, make everything anew. And what I'll build on that about, if you're dating, not in a relationship, but, you know, in that kind of dating phase, and just, you know, maybe you met them a month ago, or maybe you're on the apps and talking to people, make sure that you're not putting out energy to the wrong people, because a lot of people will be feeling some sort of way during the holidays, not particularly positive way, if, because, you know, you're feeling it as well. I mean, so everybody else is feeling it. So you don't want to be kind of talking to the wrong person who's talking to you just to not feel lonely, and who'll ghost you come January, or who's, you know, if you're feeling the pressure to be in a relationship, then other people are going to be feeling the pressure as well. And so you don't want to be lowering your standards, and you don't want to be going towards people who are, you know, changing their way of talking, way of speaking, just to not be lonely, and then, you know, ditch you at the end of the holidays, you know, just after New Year's.
Yeah.
I think that's, you know, the thing you want to make sure, you know, that you're protecting yourself.
Yeah, you want to work on the quality of the people in your life. Like, I don't have a lot of friends. It doesn't bother me whatsoever, because I know that the friends that I do have in my life are very valuable to me, and they're very good friendships that I can count on, and they're good people, and they're people who truly care about me, and that I truly care about them. It's a mutual respect that helps me feel comfortable no matter what. And you want to surround yourself with those kind of people. So when you spend the holidays with them, whether it's with your friends or your family, then you feel like they're lifting you up and you're having fun, and status doesn't matter. And even, you know, even if you have a group of friends who are single and you're going out, I would say you have to also make sure then to not make it all about being single, and all about, oh, we're all single, so let's go out and be sad together. No, we're all single and it's awesome, and let's all go out and celebrate and have fun, and just enjoy that aspect of being single, and focus on the positive side of it and taking advantage of it, instead of just viewing it as a symptom or as a punishment or as just something else that you have to deal with, as, you know, another bone in your, whatever you call it, a bone in your neck, or what's the saying? There's a saying. Anyway,
I've never heard of bone in your neck, but I mean, sure.
A bone in your neck. Maybe I just made it up.
Needle in your thigh, but that is it.
There's some
an Israeli expression that you just translated?
Maybe.
I do that.
Yeah, we say etzem bagaron. We do. Fun. The joys of being bilingual.
Oh, I agree. I often, the other day I said, so the English word is nobility, that I just kind of just said in French, nobilité, which means nothing at all. And my boyfriend looked at me and was like, do you mean this word? And I was like, maybe.
Maybe. Anyway.
To come back, you said something about enjoy being single, and a few, so there was a good chunk of my life in which I was single because I, for all the reasons that we know are good to be single for a while.
Yeah.
One of my brothers was also single, and the other one was in a relationship, but he was, 22 or something. So it's not, they weren't married, having kids type of relationship, which isn't to say that that doesn't count. It's just leading me on to my point that my dad realized that we weren't going to be having many Christmases where it was just going to be the five of us with no significant others, with no, he's desperate for grandchildren, but he realized that it was going to come up to, we were all going to be in relationships and, sharing Christmases and things like that. So that year, which was in, I think, Christmas of 2015, can't remember if it was Christmas of 2015 or New Year's of 2015, anyway, coming up to 10 years ago, he was like, okay, we're just going to have this amazing Christmas and New Year's period together, and it's going to be fantastic. And so we went to South Africa. So we live in France. So we went to South Africa, the five of us, for 3 weeks, and it was amazing. And we had an amazing time.
Amazing.
And, none of us were, thinking, oh, we need to be with such and such. My brother was thinking of his girlfriend, but, today it can't really happen anymore where, we're all in kind of longer lasting relationships. And, that brother is away in Thailand with his girlfriend, and my other brother, he's older and he's decided he wants to have Christmas with his partner and friends, and so I'm going to spend Christmas with my family, but JT is coming along. So anyway, he was right. That was the last Christmas where we were just going to be, well, no, he was wrong, because then there was COVID and we were forced to, but that's another story. And so, yeah, so just, when you're single, there's a joy to being single, that you can choose to spend Christmas with certain people. But when you're single, when you're in a relationship, maybe you're forced into something because you need to make your partner happy, which is also, it's fair. You make, compromises.
Yeah, there's something very beautiful about that. What you just said is that and it's true with everything in life, I think. And I really believe this. You have to enjoy the here and now without thinking too much about the future or even the past. Because again, you're not going to relive this moment ever again. It's never going to happen the same way. And it's never going to be like this. And you have to enjoy what it is. One day you're going to look back at it and you can say, oh, I wish I took more advantage of it. I wish I did this. I wish I did that. Or you're going to look back at it and say, oh, I'm so glad that I took advantage of that time, because it's never going to happen again. And I'm never going to be single. I'm in my 30s during the holidays with these people at this time in this place. And you just have to make the most of where you are, who you're with, what your status is.
Yeah.
And enjoy it to the fullest, as if it's never going to happen again. And yeah.
Well, I was going to say, because people in relationships, I mean, you and I are both in relationships and we're happy with our partners, obviously. But a lot of time, a lot of people who are in relationships will sometimes have some nostalgia about being single. So, for example, I think in the last few days, not that I had nostalgia, but I had the thought of, oh, geez, he's got a daughter, which means, we're thinking about his ex-partner, and so the mother of his daughter, about what how we can make something positive for everyone and things like that. And I had the fleeting thought of, if I was single, this wasn't, I wouldn't have to be dealing with this. To be perfectly clear, I'm very happy with him, and I'm very happy to have Saturday Christmas type of lunch with her tomorrow.